Welcome to On Target TV episode 2. I'm Lee, this is Brent. Today we're going to chat a little bit about silencers. In specific, we're going to chat about fast attach rifle silencers. First, we want to just talk a little bit about HPA. For those of you who don't know what that is, the Hearing Protection Act. It's kind of the buzz in the industry right now. So we wanted to, kind of let you guys know what we're hearing from the industry right now. Brent, what have you been hearing recently?
Originally we were hearing that it was gonna happen. March was gonna be it. Everything was gonna be available. No waits. All that was gonna go away. But we're starting to hear something a little bit different. I think you a little bit more on that.
Yeah, we've been talking to some of the the silencer companies, and I think initially everybody was super excited and wanted to get the information out there. And now what we're hearing is that yes, it's still going to pass, but it's probably going to be more likely in 2018 when it does pass. Right now, I don't think there's any reason to wait. If you're thinking about buying a silencer, you could very well have it before HPA passes. The other benefit, if it does pass, in the meantime, while you're waiting for your tax stamp, hey, come pick the thing up, no big deal. That's kind of where we're at right now with HPA. I just don't see any need for anybody to wait for a silencer right now, for HPA to pass.
No, and with the 41F, in July, the changes there, I think that you're going to see smaller wait times. We're starting to get tax stamps back now from
May,
and I think you'll see an increase in volume when people are interested in still getting tax stamps in and not waiting so long. Before HPA, people that are still interested, now is going to be a good time to get that going on and not have to worry about waiting 9 months.
Well, yeah,
tax stamp back.
And so that's the thing. Right now, we're telling people 8 to 9 months, but that's because we're right in the middle of where people were filing tax stamps right before the rush of the change. So we're telling people 8 to 9 months because that's what we're getting right now. But after the rule change, July 14th, silencer sales fell way off. So if you get your tax stamp in right now, you're going to be in the shorter period of that. And I think we'll see wait times go down, back to 4 months or so. But right now we're telling people 8 to 9 months because that's what it's taken.
It's manageable.
Yeah,
4 months.
Yeah, if we get back down to shorter times and things like that, and of course most of you guys that have talked to us about silencers know that you buy a silencer here at the range, you can break it out of jail and go in the range and use it. Come have a conjugal visit with your silencer anytime you want to, So that's one benefit of buying it from a range is you can use it while you're waiting on it.
You want to tell them a little bit about the different silencers that we have available and where the market is?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of different stuff here. We wanted to kind of show you guys a few things about some of the silencer attachments, specifically fast attach rifle silencers. We've got some Advanced Armament silencers, a couple of silencer co-silencers. Excuse me, guys. Business as always. We've got a dead air silencer. We have an older silencer that we brought out, but we just wanted to kind of show you guys some of the trends of the new stuff. We'll start off here. This is the Advanced Armament M4 2000. This one runs on a machine gun, so it has lost a lot of its finish. This silencer actually has a little locking collar here on the bottom to remove it, so you actually have to hold that and spin it about 2 turns to get it off. It has teeth on the bottom that locks the thing in place. You can get flash hiders, muzzle brakes. They make all kinds of different stuff. And depending on which silencer you get, they make a 223 version of this. And then the 308 version is the 762 STN6. They actually have a newer version now that's the SR7 that runs a 90 tooth mount instead of a 51 tooth mount, but they virtually work the same way. So when you attach the silencer, it's just going to slide on and you're going to hear those teeth engage, and that silencer is locked in place now. Very good silencer. As a lot of you guys know, Advanced Armament has joined teams with Remington, and they're now in Huntsville, Alabama. Still make a good product. So that's the Advanced Armament M4 2000.
Tell them about the difference between the teeth. Is it, you know, what it means for the suppressor?
So the 51 tooth versus the 90 tooth, when you remove the silencer, the 90 tooth mount actually has a little bit more of a taper right here, so it locks a little bit more solid. When you go to the 51 tooth mount, you can see that this silencer actually has a little bit of play in it. That's not really going to affect accuracy or anything like that, but the silencer does have a little bit of play, and some people don't really care for that. The 90 tooth mount, obviously more teeth in there, is going to give you a little bit tighter lockup, and then that taper on the bottom side right there is obviously going to give you a little bit more take up too. So that's the Advanced Armament offering. From Silencer Co., we have the Saker, which is a very good can. This can is actually getting a new workup this year. So the mount right now, it has two large teeth on the muzzle device, and you can see that big taper right there where that locks in place. So again, very solid. You just kind of turn it until it locks in place with the teeth, and then it will lock in solid. Again, once you've got that on there, it really does, the can, unless you turn it off, it just doesn't move. It's very solid. They also have other devices that you can use, like this Mad Brake that will attach to that as well. The new mount for the Saker is actually going to go to the same mount as the Spec War. The Spec War, the Omega, the Hybrid, they all take that mount. The advantage to the older mount, which will still be available, is if you wanted to run this underneath a handguard for an integrally suppressed look or something like that, you don't have to get to the bottom of the collar like you do on the M4 2000 or the Spec War mount. You can actually remove the can straight from the top, so you could sink that underneath a handguard and you wouldn't have an issue with it. Whereas when you go to the Spec War mount, or as Silencer Co. calls it, the ASR mount, you actually do have to be able to get to the bottom of the collar to unlock it. And then you've got about 2 turns before that silencer comes off. So it's not quite as quick. It is still what they would consider a fast attach. And once you get that locked in place, it is a very solid mount. And like I said, the Hybrid and the Omega are gonna take the same mount as that Spec War does.
If you really don't love the locking collar, and like Lee said, if you're a fan of the inside the handguard integrated look, the Dead Air Sandman is another good option that has the ratchet system. As you can see here on this mount, it's not timed. We did this for the video quickly, but very, very similar setup to the Saker system. Basically just throw the can on there, find that sweet spot, lock it, and you're done. There's not a lot of play. You're going to get good gas retention that's going to lock up and cause the suppressor to be pretty, I guess, a little additional quietness with that. And that one of the pro bonos with the ASR system was supposed to lock a little bit better, a little bit tighter, to decrease sound.
Well, and not just sound, but you don't get the blowback, and you have less point of impact shift as well.
Okay, so that is a good feature for the ASR.
Sure.
One of the other ones we wanted to show you, it's one of the older cans that AEC had that they don't make anymore, but in the style trends of what we're seeing in the industry, like with the OSS system, where the mount or the brake or the flash height or whatever you decide to go with locks down farther on the barrel. What did you call it?
Reflex.
The reflex mount. And then so the suppressor actually recesses even farther over the barrel as well and locks in to give you a little bit. That's like one large baffle right there, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, and you shorten the overall length of that system as well, because you've got this much barrel basically inside of that silencer. So instead of hanging all the way off the end of the barrel, you can recess it a little bit over the barrel too.
Kind of balance your rifle a little bit better if you're interested in doing that.
Yep.
Anything else?
I think that's all we got for you guys today. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll be glad to answer them. Or swing by the shop, and we'll pull all these rifles out. Most of these are our personal rifles, so these are all guns that we shoot every day. We'll be glad to take you in the range and let you demo a couple of them as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.